I've got a box of phyllo dough, but I'm only using one of the 2 tubes that's in this 2-tube roll. And I've got 1 stick of butter that's been melted. That's half a cup of butter. I'm just gonna go ahead and pour it all over your phyllo dough. Do you pronounce it phyllo or phyllo? I think it's phyllo. Let me know. Go ahead and cover all that phyllo dough with that melted butter. I'm gonna top everything with some apple pie filling. The whole thing just all over that dough and the butter. It's gonna be such an easy dessert to make. It is so good. Get that last bit out. Kind of spread this around so there's a little apple everywhere. I've got 2 containers of cinnamon applesauce. Just go ahead and put that in between, like dollops in between those big apple slices. You can use regular applesauce if you like. I like using the cinnamon one just because of the spices. Do the same with this one. Just kind of dot it in between all that apple pie filling. Gonna add some apple pie spices to the top of that. I know we use that cinnamon applesauce, but a little bit of extra spice makes everything so much more delicious. Then we're adding just a little bit of extra cinnamon to that. This is one of those desserts that every time I make it, people are like, let me know how you make it. It looks so complicated, but it's really like the easiest thing ever. To that, we're adding some pecan chips. You can use walnuts if you'd like. You can use the whole bag, but I'm just gonna use half of the bag for this recipe. And we're adding just a little bit of cracked salt, just to kind of cut down a little bit on that sweetness. And then we're topping everything with even more phyllo dough. Just 1 sheet at a time, just kind of roll it up and just place it right on top of that apple pie filling. This is such a great recipe to make, so much easier than just making like a strudel from scratch or like a baklava. You smush up the phyllo like this instead of, doing every layer and buttering every layer. And I'm using full sheets of phyllo here, but this is also a great recipe if you've got broken phyllo that's already dried out. The last one right in there, like so. Make sure everything is covered up. And this is another stick of butter, another half cup. We're just gonna go ahead and pour this all over this layer as well. You can use a pastry brush, but to be honest, this is just as easy to do, especially for this recipe, because you don't need to do every single layer. Okay. And then this goes into a 400-degree oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. Wow, that looks so good, guys. Gonna cut into this with a pizza cutter. You can use a knife, but I think a pizza cutter is just a little easier. Cut through all those layers. Take this slice of this apple pie, I don't know what you want to call it, apple pie baklava. Ooh, look, so many layers. Apple pie baklava or apple pie strudel. Add some extra creamy whipped cream on top of that. Let's do a little taste test. It's so good. It's like flakiest pastry with the apple pie on the inside. It is such a good dessert, guys. You need to make this.